Hi everybody, this is Tawana from Po Man Meals again, and today I'm going to be making sweet rub roasted chicken. This recipe is not only great to have on hand, but it's also going to teach you a great technique I use for the perfect roasted chicken every time. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees. Okay, let's talk about spices for just a quick second. Spices can be expensive, but I usually buy my spices at Super Walmart. The Spice Classics and the Fifth Season spices that you just saw me pick up were only 50 cents each. So it's a great bargain on seasonings at Super Walmart. Okay, so today we're going to use a tablespoon of onion powder, a tablespoon of garlic powder, a tablespoon of paprika, a half teaspoon of cayenne, and a half tablespoon of dried thyme leaves. For the sweet part of the recipe, we're going to use a half a cup of brown sugar, and we're going to add the seasonings we've already combined to that brown sugar. Okay, something's missing. Oh, I forgot salt and pepper. Add a tablespoon of salt and some pepper, about a half tablespoon. Use your hands to break up the brown sugar a little bit and combine the seasonings. Also, separate out in two bowls what you're going to use for today and what you're going to save for later to avoid contamination. Okay, place a large oven-safe skillet on the stove and turn your fire to high. Place your chicken breast on a plastic cutting board and sprinkle the rub liberally all over the chicken. Massage it, rub it, get it in there on both sides of the chicken and make sure it's coated really well. The reason why I said plastic cutting board is because they're easier to sanitize. If you put raw chicken on a wood cutting board, given that they absorb liquids, they're harder to clean. Okay, so we're about to start the cooking technique that I told you about. I pretty much have it down to a T, and it works for me every time. As you can see, my pan is hot. It is so hot, it's smoking hot. Put a little bit of oil in your pan and move it around so that you have an even layer of oil. Put your chicken breast down in your pan, face down, and leave them there. Do not move them, do not touch them, just let them cook. I'm going to show you this entire cooking process. It only takes about 3 minutes, but I'm going to let you see this whole process so you can kind of get an idea of how long it takes to get a beautiful caramelized color on your chicken. Since this rub has brown sugar in it, it's going to caramelize a lot faster than usual. So it's really only going to take a couple minutes for it to get really pretty and brown on the front side of the chicken. Once you get this technique down, you can try a lot of different seasonings on your chicken. Instead of using brown sugar, you can use chili powder or cumin. And if you want to just simplify the process, you can use seasoned salt or just salt and pepper. But experimenting with a lot of different spices is a great way to have different flavors on your chicken. Okay, my nose is telling me it's time to flip the chicken. So as soon as you flip the chicken, it needs to go in the preheated 375-degree oven for 10 minutes. Pour the leftover rub that you had separated out in another container and pour it into a Ziploc bag or an empty spice bottle and store it in your seasonings cabinet for another day. Back to the recipe, and the chicken is beautifully done. Voila! It's stunning, isn't it? When the chicken comes hot out of the oven, make sure you let it rest, let the juices redistribute for like 10 minutes, and then slice it. And I'm telling you, it slices like butter. If you're ever nervous about whether or not your chicken is cooked through, when you pull it out of the oven, if you have really big chicken breasts and you cook it for 10 minutes, just push the top of the chicken and make sure that it's firm. If it's firm, then it's cooked through. If it has a little bit of bounce and feels a little soft, then it might need a little bit longer in the oven. After the chicken has been sliced, throw it on the plate with some veggies of your choice and some rice, and you have a awesome dinner in minutes. Once again, I'm Tawana from Poman Mills, and thank you so much for watching this recipe for sweet rub roasted chicken. Hopefully you'll use this technique every time you cook chicken at home and love it. Go to the Poman Mills website for this recipe and more affordable, low-cost recipes, coupons, money-saving articles, and more. www.pomanmills.com.